Guys, we've lost Max. 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 Guys, this is the Smasher from FMS, the V2, and there have been a few changes which we will look at today. Now, before we get out of the box, let's just grab the first one. Smasher, 124 scale RC customised truck for Mud Master Racing. Max Smasher, 124 scale RC customised truck for Mud Master Racing. We've lost Max. I've got my suspicions. No one's told me this. You, and you are to blame. I think FMS have been told off by Traxxas for using the word Max. But like I said, no one's told me that. I just know what Traxxas are like. I love these little things, they look so cool. So you can change the shocks to oil. You get some little O-rings in the box, put them on the shocks, put a couple of tiny drops of oil in, and you'll have oil shocks. Also some shims in there. You get locked diffs, because it's a monster truck, so you got open diffs. And they perform really well. I was so impressed when these first come out. I built a full track in my workshop, and I had a good old bash around with it. After this was released, they sold out really quick. And then on the second batch, they dropped a bit of a ball. That is the controller I got with mine when they were first released. You can see you got some dip switches on there. That changes your ESC settings. And you can go forward, brake, reverse, or just forward and reverse. One of the little tricks I showed is swapping that to just forward and reverse. You could get this thing up onto its nose like that, and you could do, I can't remember what they call it, moonwalking or something like that. You could do that. But to make it easy, see that number one there, just there. With that switched up, the ESC is just forward and straight reverse, so you go straight into reverse. If you flick that switch down, it then gives you forward brake reverse. So when you hit back on the controller, it just brakes. So it's not as easy. You can do wheelies. But then they changed the electronics on the second batch. You got a transmitter without the dip switches, which meant you then couldn't switch the ESC to forward and reverse, and it upset quite a few people. I think it was changed without much press about it, so no one really knew until it arrived. Anyway, the V2 has got some revisions to the electronics. Even though they're not the same as the V1, there's some revisions on it. FMS have got a video showing you how to do all this, and it will be in, and it is in the instructions of how to set it all up. We will have a quick look. And that's one of the changes on the V2. They've slightly tweaked the electronics. The other changes I've seen, it says that it's got partial bearings now rather than full bearings. And I'm interested to know where. Clipless body, really nice and scale, hard body. You get water slide decals as well. Obviously these ones have just changed to Smasher. If you've got a Max Smasher, it's now a little bit more sought after. If you've got a V1 Max Smasher with this transmitter, it's even more sought after. I don't think you'll be able to retire though. So there they are side by side, a V1, there's the ESC on there. That is a R4A1, this is the R3A, slightly you can see the difference. The older ones have just a little piece of flimsy elastic that go around the battery, that pings off really easy. The new ones have a nice bigger bit of elastic. I like that idea. Same battery, 380 milliamp hour, on off switches at the front there. The V1 was on the side. Servo saver, I think that is a good addition. I didn't have any issues with mine. I did hear people stripping the servo horn. Looks all the same underneath. So this one's got bearings all round, so bearings in the portals, axles, gearbox. I know this has got them in the gearbox, which is the best place to have bearings because of all the movement and stuff. But I'm going to take a wheel off, have a look at the portal to see if they've changed it to brass bushings, because it's not very clear where there's bearings now. It just says partial bearings. So you got a big bearing at the end of the axle going into the portal, then you got a brass bushing there, and then you got two bushings on the outside and bearings in the axle. You can place these plastic ones to get locked diffs, or I think you can buy upgraded metal ones as well. So pretty much bearings throughout, just the three in the portals that aren't. I have good news. You can change it to just forward and reverse. Ready? Look. That is what was missing on their revised V1. So it shows you in the settings here, you can set your drag brake, although this is only really when you're in second gear. When you're in the slow crawl mode, because of the gear ratio, it's just really hard anyway. So this is with the drag brake off. Press reverse button twice quickly. Green light will flash. Press, if I go maximum, throttle plus. So it's now got a drag brake. You can see it's just slowly going down. I'll switch it back to 0. The only thing it wouldn't do was, that's meant to be 50%, but it doesn't seem any different. Only seems to work when you do it 100. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. But anyway, you can do just forward and reverse. So I'm off to a crawler competition this weekend, taking my SCX24 this time. These things, even with open diffs, with these big tyres, they actually do really well. So I'm going to take this along with me, have a bit of a play test. There's going to be some cool obstacles and stuff like that. And then I think I'll probably gift it to someone, because I've already got a Max Smasher, a couple of power wagons, awesome trucks. This is where we need the lock diffs. Oh, nearly. I wonder if doing a competition with these big tyres with locked diffs would be any good. It's probably a bit wide. Ooh. I don't want to break it before I take it there. Through the bean pit. Up on the snow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Definitely a bit top heavy in with these big tyres. Still doing all right though, isn't it? Unlocked diffs, doing well. Oh, come on. Oh, nice. And then second gear. Links in the description. I'm going to go and have some fun, and then I'm going to let someone else have it, and then they can enjoy it.